What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in a building with another banger. Now, first things first, before we go ahead and get started, I gotta go ahead and say thank God for another day and another opportunity. Now, as y'all can see from the looks of the title and the screen, today I'm gonna be bringing y'all a very special build. I'm gonna be calling it the Offensive Machine build. And today, this build is actually going to come out to a playmaking shot creator. Now, what makes this build special today is that we're going to be able to get every single elite dribble package out of this build, also contact dunks, and we're also going to be able to equip some of the best dunk packages in NBA 2K23 on next gen. Now look, I'm telling y'all, I'm going to be creating this build today at the height of 6'1", but as far as when it comes down to the attributes, the ones we're going to be able to reach a 100 plus for are going to be the driving layup, our dunk, mid-range shot, 3-point shot, pass accuracy, ball handle, speed with ball, and we're also going to be able to get a 99 plus acceleration out of this build. So look, as you can see from the gameplay, this is one of the best offensive builds, and that is why I decided to go ahead and name it how I did. Now, I just want to say thank you to everybody stopping by and showing support. And if it's your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Smash that like button. Turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family. But more so than anything, comment down TG for thank God, as well as where you're tuning in from, and I most definitely will be sure to hit y'all back with a response. So from the gameplay, I'm telling y'all, I'm really happy with how this build came out to be, and especially how it feels when it comes down to the controls. Let's go ahead and get into the breakdown. So we're going to be making this build out of the point guard position. Now, when it comes down to the body settings, these are going to be the main factor in which it comes down to this build. How we create everything and pretty much how I go about it. So I'm going to go with the height of 6'1". As for the weight, I decided to go ahead and put this to 168. And then when it comes down to the wingspan, I'm going to go with 6'7". Now, the body shape what I like best is going to be built, but this is really just to take up the most space on the defensive end. If you followed every single step from here, we're all set to get started. So let's go ahead and first get into the breakdown of the finishing. So with the close shot, I'm going to put this to a 52. As for the driving layup, go with the 77. 80 when it comes down to the driving dunk, and we get a total of 16 badges. Now, just off rip, I like Giant Slayer. Also, when it comes down to tier 2, Fearless Finisher and Pro Touch. But I'm really looking at Posterizer with Slithery as well as Limitless Takeoff. Now, this is just what we're going to look like when it comes down to this area. As far as when it comes down to the shooting, I'm going to go with an 81 when it comes down to the mid-range, 92 for the 3-point shot. And right there we get a total of 25 badges. And I'm going to go with the free throw of a 75. And right here, every single badge up to tier 2 is going to be on Hall of Fame except for catch and shoot. Now for tier 3, I like Agent 3 and Limitless Range. But some other ones that I'm focused on are going to be Space Creator, Amped. Even when it comes down to tier 1, Mini Magician and Volume Shooter are solid badges. Now when it comes down to the offensive end, you can already see just how overpowered we are. Now keep in mind, we will be able to get Slashing Takeover. When it comes down to the playmaking, I'm going to go with the pass accuracy and bring this up to an 86. As for the ball handle, I'm going to put this to a 96, and right there, we already have a good amount of badges, and we're going to leave it at 25 and leave the speed with ball at an 81. And with these 25 badges, I like Ankle Breaker, also Vice Grip with Quick First Step, Unpluggable, Hyperdrive with Clamp Breaker, and then Killer Combos with Handles for Days. Now so far, I really am happy how this build came out to be with the offensive stats. Now when it comes down to the defensive end, it really comes down to the adjustments and how you want to go about this. So I'm going to go with the perimeter defense to a 70. As for the steal, I'm going to bring this up to a 60, and the rest of the attributes will be left over for our physicals. So when it comes down to the speed, I'm going to go with an 80. As for the acceleration, max this out at a 95. Go with the 70 for our vertical, that way we're able to unlock the quick drops dunks. And then when it comes down to the stamina, max this out to a 96. And right there with the gym rat badge, we're going to be able to have a 100 plus with the stamina, 99 acceleration, and look, if you buy your own boost, that's a +5. Run with a teammate with Hall of Fame Floor General, another +4. Now the better you play, your stats also gradually will raise, and then on top of adding in the takeover boost, that's another plus 10 on top of everything I've named. So you have the potential to get 2 separate areas of this build to a 100 plus. Now with the takeovers, we get the slashing, also the shot creating, the sharpshooting, and then we get the playmaking. Now each of these is going to give you a plus 10 when activated. So for my best interest out of this build, to get the most out of the attributes, I would go with first finishing moves, especially to guarantee us contact dunks. Now for the second one, I would consider ankle breaking shots, limitless range, but if you want the most out of the playmaking, or when it comes down to the shooting, that's where you have to pick your decision here. So for my own liking, to get the best animations and the best shooting stats, I'm going to go with ankle breaking shots, but I can definitely see anybody going ahead and picking sharpshooting takeover. Now let's go ahead and check out the build to make sure that we made it correctly. And if you followed every single step, we should be getting these 3 comparisons. And as y'all can see, we have created the offensive machine, which actually comes out to a playmaking shot creator like I said also. But let me know what y'all thought about this build. Drop a comment down below if you made it exactly how I brought it to y'all, or if you remade your own version. Now with all of the boosts taken into consideration, depending on which takeover you decided to go with, go ahead and add on that plus 20 for this area. Now from here, let's get into the breakdown of which badges we're actually going to work with. Now when it comes down to the finishing, I'm going to go with Bronze Core, Limitless Takeoff, Posterizer, Silver Fearless Finisher, Giant Slayer with Gold Pro Touch. Now I think for this area, I have all of the badges needed in order to be effective. Now if you want to go further and add extra badges towards this area to unlock Slithery, that's a really good option. I'm not going to lie, but when it comes down to the shooting, we're going to be able to get Silver Mini Magician, Gold Agent 3, Core Limitless Range, Hall of Fame Space Creator, with Amped as well as Volume Shooter. Now I can definitely see some of y'all going with Green Machine, and this is definitely a good area to add those extra badges towards. But when it comes down to this area, here's also going to be a few different jump shots that we're actually able to pick and recreate from, just to give y'all an idea of which custom jump shots you're actually able to create as well. Now when it comes down to this build, you really have to take into consideration all 4 areas. Now with the playmaking, look, I went with Ankle Breaker and Hall of Fame, Hyperdrive, Quick First Step, Gold Killer Combos, Core Handles for Days, as well as Silver Vice Grip. Now this is another area where if you want to, you can go ahead and put on Hall of Fame Clamp Breaker. Now it really comes down to which game modes you are running, as well as who you're playing when it comes down to the playmaking. But as far as for which badges I did go with, I think we have everything and more, especially when it comes down to getting the best animations. Now with the defensive end, I'm going to go with Brown's Box Out Beast, Chase Down Artist, Pogo Stick, Rebound Chaser with Silver Core Workhorse, and then Ankle Braces. Now if you want to go the extra route and adding more badges to unlock any of the tier 3 ones, that's another option that I can definitely see. But let me know what y'all thought about this build. Truthfully, I want to know if you made it exactly how I brought it to y'all, or if you made your own version. But I just want to say thank you to everybody for your support, and more so than anything, thank God for another day and another opportunity. Now look, if it was your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new, smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family, and last but definitely not least, comment down TG for thank God and where you're tuning in from, and I most definitely will be sure to hit y'all back with a response. But with all that being said, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.